topics and opinions expressed in the following show are solely those of the hosts and their guests and not those of W4CY Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4CY Radio or its employees or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4CY Radio.
Barry G. Fowler, EA, brings you Tax Talk for You right here on W4CY Radio and Talk4 TV. As an enrolled agent and a national leader in tax resolution, as well as trucker, bookkeeping, and tax planning with over 30 years of experience, Barry will break down taxes, bookkeeping, tax planning, and tax relief for individuals and businesses just like you. So let's have some Tax Talk for You with your host, Barry G. Fowler.
Hey, welcome and Merry Christmas. It's going to be a great week. Time to celebrate birth of Christ, our Lord and Savior. So enjoy it. Hopefully everybody gets time with family and get to enjoy the time being with one another and family as much as sometimes we all clash heads because of family. It is what it is, but it is that time of the year and enjoy. My wife and I got to take a little time and get away and went out to a part of Texas we hadn't been to and went out to Fredericksburg area, nice wineries, distilleries, and a good fun, atmosphere to be at during Christmas season. Matter of fact, have some clients in that area, but I've not been out there to spend time or to get away. It's usually been working, and really fun because we were out seeing the Christmas lights in downtown Fredericksburg, and there was a charity there at Optimist Club, and they were doing a raffle for some guns and everything. So I, bought a raffle ticket or two. But come to find out, in a small town like this, in getting out and meeting people and talking to people, we found out that some of the people that were there in this Optimist Club were friends of my client and been longtime friends with them. So, we ended up meeting a lot of people that knew my client out in that area. So it was really good. Plus we got chances to go out and see a bunch of good wineries out in that area as well. And there's a couple of distilleries over there. So we got to drink a little bit of wine, a little bit of whiskey, and definitely have a lot of fun. The first night we were out there, we went to a rum distillery called the Iron Goat. Small little place, there in the city, and talked to the owner. So it was really nice, really good, a nice little intimate environment to be able to sit and talk. So if you're looking for some place to go, in Texas, Fredericksburg's a nice place to visit. It's a nice little town, and you can get a good Airbnb or VRBO or hotel there, and it was really, really nice. So if you're looking for some place to enjoy, the other thing is we were sitting here talking right before the show with the producer, and she does some entertainment for restaurants or bars, and got to talking about country music. And a good friend of mine, Dave Gore, runs a station called Keeping It Country Live. So if you're looking for real country music, that's what he puts on there. He does get out with a lot of good people that we've known over the years that have come to events and sang at truck shows like the Mid-American Trucking Show and Great American Trucking Show when it was in Dallas, and some other events with us. And so he brings on some really good artists like Charity Adams and and stuff. So, if you get a chance to flip over and want to listen to some good country music, check out Keeping It Country Live. They're really good. Today we're going to be talking about updates with the IRS. The IRS goes through and updates not just tax code, but regulations and different items, especially things like regulating enrolled agents, CPAs, through Circular 230, which is the guidance that we have to follow when we practice before the IRS. And that is in the Treasury Department Circular 230. The IRS Office of Professional Responsibility generally has responsibilities for matters related to practitioner conduct, responsibility for discipline, including disciplinary proceedings and sanctions. These are just some proposed regulations they're putting in. When it's finalized, or if it's ever finalized, it'll amend the Circular 230. Laws and regulations that we've got to follow in our tax practice. Some of the changes are going to remove or update parts of Circular 230 related to registered tax preparers, tax return preparation, as well as contingent fees to reflect changes in laws prior to the amendments in 2011, 2014. The proposed regulations would also revise or eliminate other provisions that are considered to be out of date. It's just them providing updated guidance on how we can run our business and how we've got to practice before the IRS. One of the things on contingent fees is they've always said you can't charge contingent fees based on what kind of return you're getting on an original return. And I think they're trying to correct some tax law and regulations in there so that they can continue to have that. But we'll see what happens when they get through those regulations in itself. Also, back December 20th, the IRS announced special payments this month to about 1 million taxpayers who did not claim 2021 recovery rebate credit, and encouraging you as a non-filer about this approaching deadline to claim the credits. So these credits are going to be expiring and going away. So if you didn't claim your credit, you need to make sure that we get this filed so that you can claim the credit. So the IRS announced a special step after reviewing a bunch of data showing eligible taxpayers who filed a return but did not claim the credit. That recovery rebate credit is refundable credit for individuals who did not receive one or more economic impact payments, known as stimulus payments. No action is supposedly needed for eligible taxpayers to receive these payments, which are going to go out automatically in December and should get to you in most cases by late January of 25. The payments will be automatically direct deposited or sent by paper check. I don't know why they have to make that statement. Either one, it's one or the other, to you if you're eligible. And then you're going to receive a separate notice notifying you about the payment. Hopefully you actually notice the payment going into your account before they send the notice out. But, a lot of people don't notice some things that go into their account or come out of their account. And so they've got to spend the money to send you the notice. The IRS says they're continuing to work hard to make improvements to help you, the taxpayer. I still think they're working harder to collect money. So if you owe the IRS money, now is a good time to get in front of that problem, especially with the IRS being a little bit slower. The IRS, a lot of these guys are taking vacation time and using up their vacation time, like many other workers are. at this time of the year as well. So it's time to get in front of that problem. And if you want to get in front of that problem, taxationsolutions.net has a great new IRS playbook that's just been released. That IRS playbook is a playbook we've used for 30 years to get the IRS off your back for as good, in as little as 3 simple steps. So if the IRS is running your life, ruining your life, it's time to take the power back into your hands. So go to irsplaybook.info, irsplaybook.info. So if you're listening to this today and you're looking for updates, hey, one of the best things you can do, if you have family members, friends, or even you owe the IRS money, go now to irsplaybook.info. Get that information. It's free. Matter of fact, take us up on a free consultation after you watch this video and after you get this IRS playbook. Call us, get a free consultation. Let us jump in front of the IRS and stop them today. So, as the IRS is working hard to make improvements and help taxpayers, or help themselves to taxpayers' money when you owe them, you want to stop them before they get started collecting against you. Now, these recovery rebate credits, payments may vary depending on several factors. Maximum payment is about $1,400 per individual. The estimated amount of the payments going out will be about $2.4 billion. Wow. Sounds to me, if you didn't claim it for whatever reason, they shouldn't be proactively going out and sending this money to people that, hey, if you didn't file the claim for it. You should have to revise or amend your tax return to get this claim. But no, the IRS is taking it upon themselves to pass this money out to you. The IRS also is reminding taxpayers who haven't filed 2021 tax returns that they could be eligible, but they face an April 15th, 2025 deadline to file their returns to claim the credit or any other refund you might be owed. So if you are having to file your 2021 taxes, make sure you get your 2021s filed. Hey, we're going to go through some more updates that the IRS has come out with right after this.
We have only scratched the surface of today's show. Please stand by as Barry G. Fowler will be right back with Tax Talk for You. If you owe the IRS or are going through an IRS audit, don't go at it alone. Call Taxation Solutions Tax Relief at 888-930-1016. We are your solution for IRS debts, audits, back taxes, garnishments, liens, and levies. Whether you're an individual or business, you need a solution and a strong, aggressive tax resolution. Don't let the IRS walk all over you. Stop the IRS now. Call 888-930-1016 or go to taxationsolutions.net now for a free, no obligation consultation. Let's get back to Tax Talk for You with more Tax Talk. Once again, here's your host, Barry G. Fowler.
Hey, welcome back. I love questions and being able to answer questions for people. Jeff, he happens to be an owner-operator truck driver. He's actually out in Colorado today. Well, hopefully you get back home and get some time with your family, whether it's for Christmas Day, Christmas Eve. Thank you for what you do, and we appreciate all truckers that are out there on the road. His question was, is the government still open, or did they do a shutdown on Friday? Well, okay, it's a good way to get me started on my soapbox. Government's still open. They passed another continuing resolution late, I guess it would be early Saturday morning. President supposedly signed that on Saturday to keep the government open through, I think it was March 15th of 2025. Again, why are we doing continuing resolutions? Why don't we pass an actual budget? Why don't we pass each department's budget one at a time so that we can actually see what's in these bills and understand what they're passing, not just blindly giving a blank check and saying we're just going to continue to fund the government at the current rates or a little increased rates. No, that is not your job, Congress. Your job is actually step up, pass a budget. Your job should actually be to pass a balanced budget. Quit putting our children and our grandchildren in debt for what you want to do. You know, I'm sorry. I really think our government should run within the lines of the Constitution, not run outside of the Constitution, not have budgets that don't balance. Their spending is through the roof and astronomical. The debt that we're not only incurring for ourselves, but for our children, our grandchildren, and maybe great grandchildren, depending on how old you are and where you're at. But the incredible amount of debt that we've burdened this country with because of giveaways, because we need this for political motivation, shouldn't be there. We got to live within our means. Your family, my family have to live within their means. Shouldn't our country live within our means? Shouldn't we take care of what we got to take care of here within our borders before we start taking care of other people outside of our borders? Hey, it's that time. Okay, we're talking about IRS. We're talking about updates that the IRS has. December 19th, the Internal Revenue Service announced that their standard mileage rate for autos driven for business will increase a whopping 3 cents in 2025. Yep. Mileage rates for vehicles used for other purposes are going to remain unchanged. So medical purposes, charity purposes, those are going to remain unchanged. But beginning January 1, 2025, standard mileage rates for the use of a car, van, pickup, or panel truck is going to be 70 cents per mile driven for business use. That's up that whopping 3 cents. That doesn't even keep up with inflation, my friends. Who comes up with this stuff? I don't know. Somebody really needs to look at it. And then you didn't increase mileage rates for medical or charity or moving purposes for qualified active duty members of the armed forces. You know, medical purposes is 21 cents, same as 2024. Moving purposes for qualified active members, it's 21 cents. And it remains at 14 cents per mile for charitable organizations. Now, I don't know how they do this or how they qualify this, but the rates apply to fully electric and hybrid automobiles, as well as gasoline or diesel-powered vehicles. Yeah, some of this is crazy. I don't know where they're coming up with these numbers. I understand this mileage rate is supposed to be, fuel, wear and tear, depreciation, all of that is included in this. And so there's, a cost for fuel for electric vehicles. But what isn't that cost different than the cost for gasoline or diesel? Like I said, you can't make this up. It is what they're coming back to put out there. And making the decisions based on who knows what. who knows what. If you know, hey, text me. Let me be able to put it out there for you to understand this a little bit better. Hey, the IRS wants you to prepare for 2025 filing season. Hey, we've not only been talking about that, but the IRS is wanting you to prepare. IRS has actually shut down the e-filing system for 2024 or 2023's tax year, 2022 and 2021. As we come into the new year, they're going to open up 2024 filing season sometime late January, and that'll include us being able to file 23 and 22, but you'll no longer be able to e-file 2021. In this modern day and age, it doesn't seem possible that they couldn't keep the prior years open so we can electronically file those years as well. But I think whatever it is in their system, they're only allowed 3 years of e-filing. So I want you to be prepared for that and filing 2024 tax returns next year. The IRS is trying to improve their IRS online account to make tax season easier and safeguard your tax information. A lot of times we're telling people, hey, you can file for a taxpayer PIN number to make sure that your data is safe and that somebody else isn't filing for you. There are a lot of IRS scams, and you can go back and listen to one of our previous podcasts on IRS scams to hear some of the scams that happen for filing tax returns and how you can protect your Social Security number for electronically filing by use of the PIN numbers. The IRS does have a page, and it's called a Get Ready page on irs.gov, and it does have a lot of practical tips and resources to help you prepare. It's good information. It does allow you to think a little bit more about what you've got going on. But if you run a business, you need to be in touch with your bookkeeping department, the people that are doing bookkeeping. You need to be in touch with people that are preparing your tax return. Do some tax planning. You still have a little bit of time to plan for what you're going to do to save yourself money in 2024, but not much. But you have a lot of time to prepare for 2025 and work hard to lower your taxes for 2025's taxes. Keep more money in your pocket. That's the name of the game. How much money can you keep in your pocket? But if you've got online access, we're going to talk a little bit about what the IRS offers in their online account that can help you as a taxpayer. And there are some really good tools in IRS online account for you. And we'll discuss those tools right after this.
We have only scratched the surface of today's show. Please stand by as Barry G. Fowler will be right back with Tax Talk for You. As an owner-operator, you already spend too much time away from your family. Trucker Tax Tools handles all your bookkeeping and taxes no matter what level trucker you are. Life on the road can be taxing, but that doesn't mean that your wallet or time with your family should suffer. Trucker Tax Tools makes your life run smoothly. Go to truckertaxtools.com for a free guide that will give you the tools to never worry about your taxes again. Call Trucker Tax Tools at 877-966-2477 or go to truckertaxtools.com now and let the experts keep you trucking. Let's get back to Tax Talk for You with more Tax Talk. Once again, here's your host, Barry G. Fowler.
Hey, welcome back. We talk about love and text messages and requests for information. Claire, up in Oklahoma City. Hey, welcome. Merry Christmas. Your question was, how do I get an identity protection number? So that personal identification number. Well, it's in that IRS online account. You can go there. That IP PIN, identity protection personal identification number, is a 6-digit number that prevents someone else from filing a tax return. You can go right there online in that account. So if you go to irs.gov and you can set up your online account, you can go in there and request an identity protection PIN. So make sure you get that PIN, and every year that PIN changes. So IRS will send you a letter with the new PIN number for each year. Usually that'll come out in January. So that's the best way to get in there and do that, is through your IRS online account. So what else does the online account offer you? It's going to allow you to view key details from your most recent tax returns, such as the adjusted gross income. It's going to allow you to get account transcripts to include wage and income records. Now, most wage and income records aren't going to get out and into that account until sometime about May. Even though there are certain early filing deadlines, it doesn't usually hit to where you can see them until a little bit later in the year. You're going to be able to sign certain tax forms like powers of attorney or tax information authorization. So if you hire us to do your IRS resolution, solve your tax debt, and get you tax relief, instead of doing a paper power of attorney, we can actually have you go in to your account, and we'll request that power of attorney, and you can sign it through your own IRS account. You can also view and edit language preferences and alternative media. Why are we using multiple languages when we're here in the United States? It does cost our government a lot of money to put this in as many languages as they do, but that's a whole nother subject out there that we can't just address here in this short period of time. But you can edit what language you want to receive things in, and you can receive and view over 200 different IRS electronic notices. So different notices can come through this system as well to you. You can also go in there, view, make, or even cancel payments. And you can set up or change payment plans and check your balances with the IRS. So that's a lot of the tools that the IRS has right there in your online account. So if you got an online account, make use of it. There are a lot of good things that you can do in that account. But make sure that if you are using like the identity protection PIN, make sure your preparer has that PIN number. If you're filing your own, you have that PIN number, because your tax return will be rejected if it doesn't have the PIN. Speaking of payments through the system, you can make your quarterly estimated tax payments. So if you're an owner operator and you're one of our clients listening today, hey, thank you for your business. You have a quarterly estimate that's due. And that is due January 15th, 2025. And you got that online account, you can make it right there as well. So, make sure you've gone through and done that. Make sure that you have your estimated taxes in by that time. And make sure that throughout the year you're making your quarterly estimated tax payments, so that you don't have a huge payment due April 15th that you can't afford to make, and, make sure that it avoids penalties and interest from you not paying from that. The other thing is a couple things the IRS wants you to know is you should be using direct deposit for a faster refund. Filing electronically and selecting direct deposit is going to still be the fastest and safest way for you to receive your 2024 tax refunds. Direct deposit is going to ensure quicker access to refunds compared to receiving a paper check. Paper check is always going to take longer. A couple things we suggest you do is make sure you verify your account number, your routing number for your bank. Certain institutions may have different routing number for deposits versus withdrawal. So you may want to make sure you've got the right one. Also, certain banks require every digit of your account number. So I know there are some credit unions out there that your bank account may restart with 0000, and you've got to have all the zeros there in order to have your direct deposit put into your account or debited out as well. So, keep those things in mind. You're going to have some new deadlines coming up. W-2 deadlines are going to be the end of January to get them out to your employees if you have them. 1099s also need to be out to your contractors by the end of January as well. So keep some of these key dates in mind as you're going through this. Hey, one of the other things that do come out, and we try to remind people all the time, if you are age 73 and older, you have IRAs or 401ks, you must take required minimum distributions from your retirement accounts. So make sure you're making those RMDs, required minimum distributions, every year once you're age 73 and older. Your IRA, 401k, retirement account is going to tell you how much your required minimum distribution is for each account. Thing to remember is you can take it from one account. You don't have to take it from each account. You can total it up and pull it all out. So want to make sure you're aware of that. Now, the minimum distribution rules generally apply to original account holders and their beneficiaries in these types of plans. IRAs, withdrawals from traditional IRAs, IRA-based plans occur every year once you reach 73, even if you're still employed. IRA owners who reach age 73 in 2024 have until April 1st, 2025 to take your first RMD based on your account balance as of December 31, 2023. And the second RMD is required by December 31st, 2025 based on your account balance in 2024. RMD rules apply to employer-sponsored plans with delays allowed until retirement unless the participant owns more than 5% of the sponsoring business. Roth IRAs. Roth IRA owners, you're not required to take withdrawals during your lifetime. However, your beneficiaries are subject to the RMD rules after the account's owner's death. So keep those kind of things in mind. The IRS does issue penalties for misdistributions. So if you're an account owner and you fail to withdraw the full amount of the required minimum distribution by the due date, you, the owner, is subject to a 25% excise tax on the amount not withdrawn. If you correct it within the first 2 years, then that 25% excise tax is reduced to 10%. So, hey, make sure you've made the required minimum distributions. If you're not, correct it as soon as possible. So, RMD calculations, how do you calculate it? Well, your trustee or plan administrator must either report the RMD amount to the account holder or offer to calculate it. Each IRA's plan's RMD must be calculated separately. However, like I said, you can withdraw the total amount required from one or more accounts of your choice as long as the annual requirement is met. So remember to make sure that you've done this. Now, the fun part is what if you've inherited an IRA? Your mother, father, somebody's passed away, and you are the beneficiary of an inherited IRA. We're going to talk about that right after we come back.
We have only scratched the surface of today's show. Please stand by as Barry G. Fowler will be right back with Tax Talk for You. As an owner-operator, you already spend too much time away from your family. Stop spending time doing paperwork. Go to truckertaxtools.com, a solution built specifically for truckers. Truckertaxtools.com makes your life run smoothly. Let's get back to Tax Talk for You with more Tax Talk. Once again, here's your host, Barry G. Fowler.
You want more time with your family? You're a trucker, you're an owner-operator, you're out there on the road, you're providing a service to all of us that many don't appreciate enough, but your service is greatly appreciated by everybody here at truckertaxtools.com. But you need more family time. You don't need to be worried about bookkeeping or taxes or how much to pay the IRS or what is deductible, what is not deductible. That is our job. Hey, look us up at truckertaxtools.com today. Get in front of it. Let us take over your bookkeeping so that you don't have to deal with the bookkeeping while you're at home, especially spending time with your family. We have great plans that are built around you. And that's why we are truckertaxtools.com. Call us for a free consultation, free quote. Let us tell you what we can do for you to help you spend more time with your family and less in paperwork. You have enough on your plate as it is. Hard to do bookkeeping and drive at the same time. Call us at 877-966-2477. Again, 877-966-2477. It's a free phone call, a free consultation. Jump in front of it and let us help you keep your truck on the road. Hey, right before the break, we were talking about inherited IRAs, beneficiaries of inherited IRAs. Whether it's a retirement plan, regular or Roth IRAs, you're probably going to be required to take RMDs. So you need to sit down and look at all the rules and what is required of you as a beneficiary here. So if the IRA owner dies on or after required beginning dates, the spouse is going to treat it as own. And you'll do it based on your age. If the owner dies before required beginning date, again, you can treat it as your own, or take the entire balance by the end of the 5th year, or distribute based on the tables. If you are a beneficiary And you are taking this based on your life expectancy or their life expectancy, then you've got different distributions, and you've got to take this over a period of time based on IRS rules and regulations. And so to do that, best thing to do is talk to your accountant, talk to the people when you're transferring the IRA over, and make sure that it gets into the right beneficiary account and have the right deductions in order to get your distributions correctly. Now, one of the things that we had to do, like in our parents' account, my mom had stock sitting in a account that was a IRA, but she wanted this specific stock distributed to her grandchildren. If she distributed it out as a beneficiary to these kids, they would have required minimum distributions that they would be taking over a period of time, and they most likely would not retain the stock. So we had to reassess how this would go, so we get it moved out to a taxed account so that the stock could be distributed to the grandchildren, and the kids may be most likely to hold that stock into the future. So a lot of this comes down to tax planning. A lot of this comes down to making sure that you're going to have the advice you need to be able to get the distributions where you need the distributions out there. One of the other ways you can get money out of your IRA is going through a QCD, qualified charitable distribution, which means money can go directly out of your IRA to a charity and skip the tax. So if you're having to do a required minimum distribution, you can do a QCD directly to your church or any other charity that is a qualified charity, and the money can go there and skip being taxed to you. Hey, we got a couple of questions coming in. And one of the questions is here, they're asking about red flags. You know, the IRS does have a lot of red flags that they list on their website, but we look at certain red flags in the trucking industry, owner-operators out there, and some of those red flags are basically the same across the board for anybody that's self-employed. And those red flags would be like using round numbers. You know, it's really hard when you go in repairs and maintenance and you're saying it was $20,000 even, or you go to office supplies, $2,000 even, interest, $4,000 even. You see the round numbers there? Well, the round numbers make it easy to say, hey, this is a potential red flag. So, you know, those are the things that, you know, they look for. Deductions that are just way out of line. Now I know, hey, repairs and maintenance in the trucking industry can be extremely high, but you've got to look at repairs and maintenance in two different fashions. And the first one is it in making an improvement and increasing the life of my tractor or my trailer? So general repairs, oil changes, new tires, you know, things like that don't necessarily change the useful life of the tractor or the trailer are going to be generally deductible. Major repair, you put a new engine in. Well, that may be a capital improvement. A new transmission may be a capital improvement because it extends the useful life of the truck. So you've kind of got to look at what is a general repair and maintenance versus what improves the useful life of the truck. So you're going to have to separate those two things out when you're filing your taxes. Using other numbers that are just way out of line, or paying contractors and not sending out 1099s. So if you have a person that is working for you and running a truck for you, whether it's your truck or somebody else's truck or their own truck, when you pay them as a contractor, now they've got to meet all the guidelines of being an independent contractor, could set you up for an audit, especially if you did not send out a 1099. Now, even if you did send out a 1099 to those people, if they're running your truck and you're not leasing the truck and they can't go and work for somebody else, you again could set yourself up for an audit. Not just an audit for not sending out 1099s or sending out 1099s, but they could be considered an employee. And if you have them considered as an employee, then the IRS comes in and scrutinizes you and says you should have filed payroll tax returns, withheld payroll, paid Social Security, paid Medicare, withheld Social Security, withheld Medicare from each one of their checks. And now you have become liable as the business, and potentially you as the business owner as well. So you've got to make sure you're meeting all the contractor points that the IRS has when you hire a contractor. So, you're going to make sure that, you want to make sure that you have everything correct, the I's dotted, T's crossed, so that you know for a fact that you've got everything covered. Hey, as we come to the end of the show, we want to tell everybody, hey, Merry Christmas. Enjoy the time, with your family. Enjoy the last week of the year. I hope as a trucker, owner, operator, you get a chance to be at home, to take a little downtime with the family, and spend it with your kids or your grandkids. We thank you, if you're a client of ours, for doing business with us. We appreciate you. We appreciate what you do out there for everybody that's there. Hey, if you haven't subscribed to taxtalk4u.com, go to taxtalk4u.com. Don't ever miss an episode here. You may enjoy my rambling. You may enjoy my soapbox. You may enjoy learning more about the tax code and how we can possibly save you money in doing tax planning. But whatever you do, make sure that you have somebody working for you to help keep you in line with the IRS and the IRS code. Make sure that you have somebody doing planning for you to save money and keep more money in your pocket. They should be helping you benefit by providing you the avenue to save as much money as possible. Thank you again. Enjoy the season. Enjoy Christmas. And look forward to, being back with you one more time before the end of the year. And we get ready for the new year. So tune in next Monday, 10 o'clock Eastern time, right here on W4CY Radio, taxtalk4u.com. Take care. Have a God-blessed Merry Christmas. Thank y'all.
Are you an individual or business that wants to understand taxes and how they affect you? Are you looking for specific tax advice for self-employed, business owners, and truckers? Are you behind on taxes and your bookkeeping? Are you dealing with the IRS and ready to have some relief? Then you need Tax Talk for You, hosted by tax and trucker expert Barry G. Fowler, EA. Tune in 10 a.m. Eastern Time every Monday right here on W4CY Radio and Talk4 TV. Don't forget to check this and past episodes at taxtalkforyou.com. See you next week at W4CY.com.